guys, hello and welcome back to SpursRelated YouTube channel. Hope everyone's doing very well and I hope you guys are excited as we are for the new Premier League season. As you heard, the Spurs do go marching in and literally in less than 48 hours, we will be watching Spurs finally back on our TV or in person if you're lucky enough to go to the game. And I can tell you something, I am absolutely buzzing. It's been so long. It's been too many weeks of really average friendlies. And now we finally get to enjoy the season again. I'm sure you guys are absolutely buzzing. But alongside me today, we've obviously got the full team. We've got Andre and Jack. We're just missing Joe technically. But from a Spurs point of view, they're all here. We're all hyped. And let's start with Andre, mate. How you doing?
Oh, I'm super hyped. It really does feel like the last game was not that long ago. I feel we've been so busy this season just watching signing after signing that it just came by and here we are.
Exactly that. Yeah, it's kind of gone quickly. I think it's because we're starting a week early because of the World Cup. So we're used to starting sort of 14th of August rather than 6th or 7th. But I'm all for it at the end of the day. We've got an action-packed year of football, Champions League, Premier League, League Cup, FA Cup, World Cup, and we've had the Lionesses win last week. So, I mean, we're action-packed. Jack, how you doing, mate?
Mate, I'm doing well. Absolutely buzzing for the first game of the season. Pre-season has absolutely flown by. I can't believe it. I'm like, where's all this time gone? I think it's because we've been filling our time making so many transfer videos, prediction videos, where we think we're going to finish. We're just getting excited for the season, and now it's upon us. And I'm like, wow, we're like you said, James, literally less than 48 hours till we play that first game. And let's be honest, everyone loves the start of the season. This is where you get excited. You think about, where can we finish? People make their fantasy teams. Everyone's just ready now. And, looking forward to doing this match preview today.
Absolutely. I'm absolutely buzzing. I really am. I can see there's 15 of you already, and I'm sure that will grow. As you guys know, we absolutely love doing the preview. It hypes us up. We preview who the main threats could be for the opponent in Southampton today. We preview the head-to-head stats in terms of the last results. And also, we'll give you our score predictions as well as the team news. But obviously, the score predictions Andre and myself did last year, and we were always there or thereabouts. But it's always good to have a little bit of competition, especially now we've got 3 on the panel. So be interesting to see who's closest this week. But let's get into things. We'll pull up some we'll pull up some comments now. How about that? We'll pull up some comments now. Who have we got in the building? Let's see. Catman Jess is here. Big up. Thanks, Catman Jess, as always, for your support. Really does mean a lot. It's saying big up James, Andre, and Jack. Can't believe it's almost here. Also, can't wait until Saturday, guys. Absolutely cannot wait. Honestly, I'm genuinely buzzing. Like, I think it's probably the most excited I've been for a Tottenham season. I say every year, so I don't know why I'm being delusional about it.
I understand why. Like, I've got a little interesting stat for you, and I can't believe this. I went on the BBC website this morning, and 21 out of the 22 pundits have predicted Tottenham to come out in the top 4, and at least 3/4 of them have put Spurs in the top 3. And that never happens with Spurs. No one backs Spurs to be in the top 4. We're always the underdogs, but we end up proving people wrong, especially in recent years. So for me, that was just a very interesting outtake, seeing that people are expecting Spurs to have a great year. So can the boys live up to the expectation that's on their shoulders, I guess?
Exactly that. I mean, we've got such high expectations that we can only match them or beat them. But also, as we know, with Spurs, we can also underachieve. So let's get delusional and all be in it together if we do fall like a ton of bricks. But who else we got in there? We've got Archie. He's saying, can't wait to see Arsenal lose tomorrow night. I cannot wait. Well, hopefully it's like a Brentford situation where they absolutely get battered on that first day again. Thanks for joining, Archie. Hey, Nami, as always, is in the building. Thanks for joining. Emil's here. He's saying, watching from the MI. Oh, yeah. Big up, Emil. Thanks for joining, mate. And really, Jack, where can I watch that later?
What does she mean, the BBC Sport pundits?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that's what you mean. And if that's what you mean, it was just something I read on BBC Sport. If you go on the website, you can check it out and you can read all the thoughts and opinions. But I wouldn't say they're as knowledgeable as ours. Would you, James and Andre?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Listen,
know.
let's get into things. I'm sure people will join, but please do put your thoughts on the game as we go through the different talking points. But Simply Ace, finally, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining, mate. Always appreciate your support. But let's get into things, guys. I'm going to hand it over to Andre to start with. I'm used to it that way. Andre, why are you that side today?
I don't know.
You're messing with my muscle memory. But anyway, here we go.
Well, perfect. So, as most of you who have been around for a while, let's start off with our 3 player picks for the sort of the players that we need to watch out for, right? So, as per usual, this one is no surprise at all. I'm pretty sure the last time we faced them, I think every time we faced them, we've put this player up. But we're talking James Ward-Prowse, a player that a lot of us have been keen to sort of bring in, but that high price just it's not cutting it. So, but I mean, I'm not surprised. To be honest, I think he's still their best player. 10 goals and 5 assists last season. Pretty sure he scored against us. And possibly gave some really nasty assists, of course, crossing it in, that's his specialty. So we need to really, I'm not even joking, we always fall for this. We need to watch out for those set pieces because he is the guy. That's my 2 cents on that one.
Yeah, every time it's pinpoint crossing, his accuracy, dead ball situations. I almost say his free kicks are like penalties. Even if you got the ball and placed it in the goal, it'd be similar to James Ward-Prowse. That's just, like you say, it's his bread and butter. It's what he thrives off on the training ground. He's amazing at every set piece. You see him in corner, it's just pinpoint delivery, and that's a massive, and that's probably why his price tag is so high.
Thoughts,
Would
James?
you look at Spurs?
Oh, of course I want him at Spurs. He's an unbelievable player. Like you said, his delivery is just absolutely ridiculous, and is he worth it on the price tag? Probably not. I mean, Southampton wanted something like 50 million for him. I don't think he's worth that. But then, I don't know. It's the overprice of English players for the English quota. So people will say, if we don't do well this season, we should have signed players like James Ward-Prowse. But being realistic, we've got enough midfielders, haven't we? We've got Bentancur.
Room for one more. Would you not argue? And would you say?
Nah, I don't think there is. There's other positions.
People are crying out for creative midfielder. Does James Ward-Prowse fit into that bracket? And
no, he's not. Yeah. He's a number 6. He's a number 6. He's more of a he's more of a number 6. We need another number 10, not a number 6. In terms of traditional positioning, he's like a Gerrard, if you like.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
You wouldn't play Gerrard behind the striker, would you? Maybe in his earlier days, but certainly not in his...
Milinkovic-Savic probably, you could argue, plays a similar box-to-box role. I would take him in a heartbeat. For me, it's not getting that creative midfielder. If there's a better player that can play in that 2-man midfield that Conte likes the most and can also have the capability to play in the 10, I think we should snap him up because he probably can play in the number 10 role as well. He is a creative player. Let's not get it twisted. But at the same time, maybe he's not... He does the hard work off the ball as well. So for me, I think he'd be quite a good player in that system. But we have got a lot of similar players, James. So I do know what you mean saying he's a number 6.
But being realistic, okay, even if you do play him as a number 10, is he worth 50 million to come off the bench? Because you don't start that formation. So, because you have to drop Kulusevski or Richarlison or Son.
No, surely one of the 2 in the middle, though, because he can play in that double pivot, can't he?
Yeah, but if you're bringing him in, you're telling me that he starts in the 2 centre mids, right?
I'm saying he's got the capability to, yeah.
But then who do you drop? Because we're already discussing who we're dropping out of Bissouma, Bentancur and Højbjerg. So why would we have another centre mid that's unhappy? Anyway, I think it's maybe a talking point. But in terms of the player, have you got sort of anything else to say on this?
I'll just say I think he's a guy who improves on year in, year out. I think his work rate is fantastic. I think a lot of people don't see is because he's so good at free kicks and set pieces. His ability kind of goes under the radar, and some people don't appreciate his creativity. Just his idea. Not many players these days just keep it simple, keep the ball ticking. Don't really give away the ball too much. some would say Harry Winks, but he's obviously not a Harry Winks. He finds those passes when he needs to, but he's good at ball retention. He also works extremely hard off the ball, and a manager like Antonio Conte would massively appreciate that. So I think for me, he's a very grounded player. He doesn't get ahead of himself. He puts up good numbers, and he works really hard. And I think for a team like Southampton, if he was playing for one of the top 6, it'd probably be appreciated a lot more.
Yeah, well, he normally plays more on that right side of the middle ground, right? So I feel like that'll be more Højbjerg's problem, and possibly the left center back as well, depending on who starts in that left center back role for us. Would it be Lenglet? Would it be Davies? Either way, they're going to be on Ward-Prowse duty, I feel, and they're going to really have to make sure to just cut those passing lanes and just not foul him close to the box, because at that point, at least to me, I think we still are very horrible at defending set pieces.
Yeah, I totally agree on Jay. And I think that it's going to be an interesting, and I'm sure you will see in our Spurs-related predicted lineup that will be coming out soon, who we think will play there. And I think an aerial presence defensively is something we massively have to work on next year. You've seen the amount of times, like I think the first day of the season when Dominic Calvert-Lewin and when we had Mourinho, straight away, like it's just the amount of times we see from corners, just even in the cup final when Laporte scored the header, it's just frustrating. It seems to be in key moments as well. Even when Southampton, will come on to talk about that later, beat us 3-2, it was a header in the box, and just aerially we're not as strong. And I think that's why we've hired a set piece coach to try and stop that. But even against Roma in the pre-season friendly, Ibanez scored a header. So yeah, it's something we've got to work on, but I'm sure it will come with time and practice, and maybe we need another centre half.
Yeah, we also just got to watch out for that target man, whoever he's passing it to, right? Which, you know what? That brings me to the next player that I think we should watch out for, and that would be Che Adams. 33 matches, 7 goals, 3 assists, decent numbers. And, sorry to bring this up, but the last time we played Southampton, he scored the winner for the 3-2, I think in the 82nd minute. And it was, I'm pretty sure, a set, sort of like a cross in from Ward-Prowse himself to Che Adams, a header into that net. And we honestly, if we let that happen again, then we clearly haven't been learning from our mistakes.
Yeah. Absolutely. I don't think he's a great player, to be honest with you. Like,
I don't think
doesn't wow me. He doesn't wow me. We should be able to deal with him, is what I'm saying. Like, he's not.
But we didn't. We didn't last time.
I know we didn't, but
this game, it's important to mention as well. This was when Spurs fans started to get worried. I think we started on a really good run of form. We were winning games on the bounce. We were becoming a formidable side at home, and then we lost to Wolves and Southampton on the bounce. And I remember thinking so frustrating, because I think if we won those games, we would have gone above Arsenal and in the driving seat for top 4. But then we lost to them and Wolves, unless it was a draw at Wolves. But this was just so frustrating. I think we were 2-1 up, and Reguilon missed a 1-on-1 about 10 yards away from a goal. And then straight away, 2 rapid-fire goals from Southampton, and Spurs found themselves dropping out the top 4.
I remember it was a Wednesday night. It was pouring with rain, and then we lost at the weekend to Wolves as well at home. We lost 2 home games in 3 days, and they were both 3-2, I think.
And I was saying that I think this would have put us above Arsenal and above Man United. I think we dropped back to 6th after this. So all that, I think before that we had a run of a few good games. I think we beat Man City before that and a few other teams. And then we just lost all that fantastic form by.
And they battered us. They absolutely battered us. They had about 28 shots to our 4. Like, it was absolutely. It was ridiculous. They battered us. They had more possession than us in our own backyard. But anyway.
Was this when we were going through that weird spell of win loss, win loss, win loss? Yeah. Or was that after?
No, it was then. Yeah.
No, we won 2 on the bounce, and then we lost 2 at home against Wolves and Southampton. It was a frustrating period. But then again, that's in the past, and I think we're a much different outfit now. Look at the squad depth. Look at the players. Like, for me, we should easily be able to deal with Che Adams. I think he's a player who works hard off the ball. He's fast. Yes, you could argue he's got a good right foot on him. His goals to minutes ratio isn't terrible, but with Christian Romero at the back, Eric Dyer and Lenglet in a back 3, if we can't pick up Che Adams, there's no way we should be talking about winning trophies this season, because this is a guy who we have to be able to deal with. Ward-Prowse has definitely got a bit more star quality and someone I'd be more worried about. with time on the ball. But Che Adams is someone that we should definitely be able to stop from scoring.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see. I really hope you're right, because I am not really like happy that we let in a set piece against Roma, and I just sat there going like, okay, and we're about to face a team that tends to score from those kinds of positions. So we'll see. We'll see. But you know what, Jack, how about you lead this last one here? I believe this was your specific player, the surprise sort of player that you think could surprise us.
Yeah, so not many people know too much about this guy, and rightly so. He's gone under the radar, but he is a new signing, and his name is Romeo Lavia, and he's come from Man City. He was quite a high-profile player in their youth setup, and I guess the idea of first-team football and being able to play week in, week out in the Premier League has made him switch to that move. And I've heard of him as just a highly regarded player at the academy. He wanted to move on. He wanted to play regular first-team football, and he's made his switch to Southampton. So it'll be interesting to see whether he does start at the weekend here. I think the move was around for 15 to 18 million pounds, so definitely not a cheap signing for a guy in his 20s or early 20s. So, yeah, for me, I can't tell you too much because I haven't seen him play too much. But just the words I'm hearing, I've seen a few clips of him playing, and he looks like he could be an exciting young player. So only time will tell whether he reaches that standard. But, yeah, I just thought it was a bit of a surprise element. We don't know too much about him because he didn't play from that season. So it's going to be exciting to see how he performs against the likes of Højbjerg and Bentancur.
Well, I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for this guy when we're playing. And by I just mean that like when we're watching, if he hops on, I'm going to be definitely a little nervous because when it comes to these new players, they just tend to have really good sort of, you could say, debuts. I think I remember Crystal Palace, the, what's that guy's, Eze. He was also having some pretty crazy games at the start when he made his move. And this could be the same thing here.
Yeah, exactly. It's just these hotly tipped youngsters just willing to prove a point, working hard to be that first name in the team sheet, really, and cement their place in the starting 11. And this is going to be his Premier League debut by the looks of things. So, yeah, it's just that surprise element. You don't really know what you're getting. They could really smash it and show why they deserve to be in that starting 11, like I've said.
100% here. What do you think, James?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't know much about this guy, so I'm not going to sit here and try and pretend I do. But yeah, might have to look out for him if he is a promising young player like Jack is saying. Then, and he plays a part, then of course. But I'm sure Conte's done his research with the lads, and yeah, not too much more to say on this guy. To be honest with you, I think the one that we need to keep quiet is James Ward-Prowse. We said it before the game last time. We didn't keep him quiet. He unpocketed our defence and our midfield, and we got beaten. It's as simple as that. If you go to Joe's prediction of Southampton to be relegated, and I obviously don't agree with it, but to be honest with you, if you can keep James Ward-Prowse quiet in most games against Southampton, you're probably going to win. Let's be honest.
Yeah. How would you stop that, James? So if you were Antonio Conte right now, how do you stop James Ward-Prowse from delivering those pinpoint balls?
Either put two men on him or simply stop giving away stupid fouls on the edge of the area, because he's going to deliver a great cross and a great indirect free kick, and we could be in trouble. And the other thing is, don't let him shoot, because he can score a long shot. He scored a few long shots last season, so
he scored a lot of good goals. I think he scored a half volley against Spurs earlier on in the season as well. His ability, the way he strikes a ball, whether he's curling the ball or hitting it with the laces, is phenomenal, really. He can score from anywhere. And yeah, that's why I will keep talking about it. I know it's not a transfers video, but he could be a type of player that Spurs will be looking at just for that homegrown quota and his ability to strike a ball and creative play. He's obviously an England international, so he's a strong player.
I think it would just depend on the years. You know, once he's on his last year, and and they're looking to make a bit of cash, and it's not overpriced. I think 100%. But
because I think Mike McGrath earlier on in the window, or it might have been in the January window, said that Spurs were going to make an attempt for him. And at the time, some people saw him as a highly tier source. Maybe on SpursRelated, he's not tier 1, but there's always been a few rumours, hasn't there?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure any good player, there'll be rumors that pop up. But anyways, let's move on to the head-to-head stats. I think that's something that's very important as well. So against, I guess you could say between the two of them, we've won 3, drew 1, and then we lost that last one. It's not looking like a really good, pattern here. We were winning, dominating, and all of a sudden we draw, and then we lost. That, we got to change that up, and I'm sure we will with the players that we've gotten. But again, that 3-2 loss was 100% avoidable. We just didn't keep Ward-Prowse quiet, and we let Shane Adams just be free. So let's not do that this time. That's my to it.
I mean, it's very high scoring, and if you look at all the games, hence why I went for a 3-1 earlier in the week on another video. Look at every game. No clean sheets. 3-2, 5-2, 2-1-1, all 3-2. Like, no one seems to keep a clean sheet, and I don't think it's going to change. I think we'll concede a sloppy goal, and we'll win 3-1. So I think the pattern will continue.
Yeah, clean sheet on this one doesn't look likely. We just tend to always at least let one goal in because of James Ward-Prowse. But you're right. Does that mean, though, that Southampton is a one-trick pony? Does that mean that if they don't have James Ward-Prowse playing, then that's it? That's the big question here.
No, I don't think so, because... No, I don't think so at all. I don't think they're a one-trick pony. I think at the end of the day, we don't know how good these new players are going to be. I know they've made other signings as well, but Southampton, for me, they're a team, and I've said it before on another podcast, they're a team that doesn't look great on paper, but their manager's decent. They play a decent style of football, and they seem to always be all right. Now, the obvious arguments that is, well, Burnley had their style, and they did what they did, and then they got found out last season and finally got relegated. But at the end of the day, you've got to still be wary of these teams. We've lost to teams like Bournemouth in the past when they were like 18th, 19th. We lost to Southampton last year. Like, just because we've made a few signings doesn't mean we're suddenly going to gel and be a much, much better team. It's just, that's not me being pessimistic. That's just me being realistic in terms of these new signings aren't going to suddenly play like an absolute glove in this team. It's going to take a while. So a team like Southampton, we're probably going to have as hard a game as we did last season, because not a lot has really changed. I don't know if you guys agree. I don't think it will be a 4-5.
I totally agree. I totally agree. Just for me, Southampton, like you say, James, you hit the nail on the head. They do not look great on their paper. If you look at their squad, there's not many star players other than James Ward-Prowse, but they play quite a nice brand of football. They keep it tidy. They look for the space in behind. They've always got quite tricky wingers. For me, a guy who stands out is Gineppo. He can shift it on either foot. You don't know. Sometimes he has that star quality. They've still got Nathan Redmond, which some people would argue is not a bad player himself. So just for me, it's that surprise element. You don't know what you're getting. They play quite neat, tidy football, and it's not boring. It's not like they sit with 11 men behind the ball and they're always looking to hit on the counter-attack. They don't mind being on the front foot, and you just never know what you're getting. For me, Ralph Hasenhüttl was quite a good manager as well. He always has quite a good squad. I keep saying it, but they're not a Burnley, are they, James? They create chances, and they've always got a chance to be in the game. So for me, it's not going to be as easy as people think. I'd like to think, with the midfield we've got now, that strong midfield, Bentancur and Højbjerg have played together. We've got that creativity in Bentancur, and we've also got the work rate off the ball in Højbjerg. So I think we need to snuff out James Ward-Prowse. For me, he is the main player. Yes, they've got other players that are going to be, they're still Premier League footballers at the end of the day, so anything can happen. But if we can stop James Ward-Prowse from getting time on the ball, get in there early, maybe get a nice early goal, then we should be fine. But like you say, James, I don't think it's going to be a 5-6-0, because at the end of the day, they're a Premier League side, and it's the first game of the season, and both sides are probably going to be a bit rusty.
Exactly. I mean, I'm just looking at their transfer window. They've signed £51 million of players and haven't sold a player for any money. They've all been free. So their net spend is as much as ours. Yeah. If you put it like that, our net spend's 55 million at the moment. And their net spend is 50 million. Yeah, apparently we've had a 10 out of 10 window, according to some people. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
But then, who has Southampton signed? Really, that has improved.
I've just had a look. I didn't even realise they'd signed some of these players. They've got Joe Aribo from Rangers, who's actually a very good player.
Oh, I've heard of the player, yeah. I forgot about that.
7 million. They've got a centre-back from Bochum called Kotchap, who's 9 million. This Lavia guy from Man City, 11 million. Man City's youth keeper, 12 million. Someone called Moura, who's a centre forward, who we haven't even covered, who's 19 years old from Bordeaux. Maybe he'll play a part. I mean, yes, these aren't recognised players, but at the same time, they're investing. So You know, you don't know
And
if
the
then you don't know if one of
research.
Southampton are very good at recruitment, right? If you think over the years, they've had Adam Lallana, they've had Sadio Mane, they've had Graziano Pelle, they've had these players that they sign that people aren't really recognising are top players, but they end up being some of them world class. Look at Sadio Mane. You can't tell me he's not a world class player, but when he came in, people weren't really expecting him to be that good. You just don't know if Sekou Mara is the next Mane. You just have no idea.
Yeah, it's true. And like you say, their recruitment's always strong. So for me, they would have done their research. And there's a good chance that maybe two of these players are going to end up being strong players for the future. Let's be honest, they've been in the Premier League for a while now. They know what they're doing. So they're going to have a strong recruitment team. And there's a good chance a couple of these players are going to end up being maybe not Sadio Mane's, maybe not Adam Lallana's, but they're going to help Southampton to stay up and keep them ticking and submit their place as a Premier League side, because right now I wouldn't say they're Championship level football, would you? Like they beat us last season 3-2. They always play nice football.
Exactly. Couple of comments. JGR makes saying if Kane and Son don't score, then who is scoring for us? Because we have no creativity in the squad for the midfield, and if Kane and Son can't score, we're going to have to rely on Kulu or Perisic. I mean, I kind of get what you're saying, but you kind of answered your own question in the same sentence.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah.
That's not good enough. We need someone from the midfield who can score goals. Okay, I understand what you're saying. 3-2 Spurs win because we're awful at defending set pieces, and James Ward-Prowse can have loads of them because we love giving away fouls. I agree with that. Claude saying Tottenham will beat Southampton easily 3-0. Claude, I hope you're right, but I honestly think we'll concede. Andrew, where are you from? America? No, you're not.
Yeah, I'm from Canada, actually. So close.
Very close. And it's actually an offence to say that to a Canadian, isn't it?
Not offensive. It's just definitely one of those things where we like to correct that as soon as possible.
With Eric Dyer and defenders who can't win aerial duels, you're going to concede 1-2 goals. You know what? I kind of agree with what you're saying here. Like, you know, we did need to improve what we were doing. Simply as saying I would judge the signings at the end of the season, but it's good that most of our signings are Premier League experience. No, I agree with that.
And I would even go as far as to say for JGR again that I think that Bissouma might be someone who offers a bit more creativity, right? Those Brighton games we had last season, he was the most creative one there. The only reason Brighton didn't score is because they didn't have strikers who could actually score, to be honest. Giving them on a silver platter. And to be fair, if Bissouma does that for Kane and Son, it's in.
Absolutely. And as Bertie Hotspur just said, 30 minutes into the video, guys, if you are enjoying all these stats, these breakdowns, this analysis from us, which we're doing every single game week, by the way, do smash a like. I've just looked at the likes. We're on 19 likes and there's about 20 people watching. So surely there's at least one or two of you that like the video. So do subscribe if you want to see more content. And that does help the channel out tremendously. Guys, do you want to get into the next talking point? I guess prediction.
I was just going to quickly mention something to all you Spurs relatables. This is not a transfer related video, but we have just got some breaking news from Fabrizio Romano, and it looks like Spurs are progressing really well with the signing of Destiny Aduge. Spurs related put a post up yesterday, and it's saying that Fabio Paratici and Antonio Conte are massive admirers of him, and the reason why negotiations are progressing so well is because Spurs are happy for him to go on loan back to Udinese for another year, similar to a Pape Mate Sarr, really hotly tipped left back. And yeah, it could be an exciting deal for the future. Not one who's going to come to Spurs, but I just thought we all love a bit of transfer news. Why don't I slip it in quickly before we move on?
There you go.
I like that. That's good. Let's just hope that he lives up to it, because I'm hearing some good things. And actually, Pape Sarr is still with us, right? He's not been loaned yet, right?
Yeah, as of today, he's still with us. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's
been linked with Milan a few times. I'm not saying it's credible sources, but there's always a few rumours around him. I think a lot of people see Pape Mate Sarr as a really strong player, and I think he's shown glimpses of it in pre-season, but I guess he hasn't quite lived up to the expectation. But he's only young, so he will improve with time.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess that brings us to the next talking point quickly, which before we get to the very... I guess you could say the one that we always do is just the score predictions. The starting lineup. Any particular players you think will be starting out of the ordinary or out of the normal starting 11 that people would predict?
I mean, first of all, in terms of the graphic, guys, before you all go, well, we're not going to be playing a number 10. This is just a formation for the purpose of the talking point. It's got to be said, I think we'll go with a 5-2-3, similar to last year. I think it'll be Kane, Kulusevski and Son up front, and Richarlison's obviously suspended, so I don't think there'll be any surprises there. I think the middle two will be Højbjerg and Bentancur, because Bissouma's got a hamstring light hamstring injury, and Skip.
Just so everyone knows, I think Sky Sports reported earlier that he should be available. Unlikely to start because Conte doesn't want to take too much of a risk, but apparently he's fit and will be in the squad.
So off the bench, maybe. I like that.
Yeah, so I think Bentancur and Højbjerg will start in the centre mids. Then I think, obviously, the recent goal. And then Lenglet will play left centre back, I think. Dyer, Romero, Doherty, and Perisic, yeah.
Perisic, yeah. I was gonna say, if you said
you going with Perisic,
I would say so. Got to start the season out strong. I think that's the best you can do. Players that have proven last season, and then just combine them with players that are proven elsewhere.
Are we good? Well, for me, it was lagging for a good 20 seconds, but I think we're fine. Would you agree with that lineup, Andre?
Lloris, Lenglet, Dyer, Yep, I agree with that. I think that's the perfect lineup to go with. It's unfortunate. I think Skip should be given more opportunities, but he continues to get injured. So we'll see. But I like that starting 11. That's a good one.
Tottenham on tour says we could be close to signing Skriniar. Don't believe what you hear on other channels unless it's come from a credible journalist. I mean, this guy might be right, but it's just like no one's reported it. Like I could turn around tomorrow and say we're on the verge of signing Hakimi from PSG, and it's just completely made up for attention. I mean, I'm not saying that's what he's doing. I'm just saying it's no one. Where's that come from? Like, don't get me started on the in the know thing. I haven't got time. But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You'll hear it from us when we hear it from our tier 1 sources that we have. So,
I mean, if we sign Skriniar, fair play, like incredible insight. But I would probably like say any other thing that's going to happen, and it won't happen. Like, it won't happen. I'm telling you now, we will not sign Skriniar. And if we do, I'll make a formal apology, but I can't see it, honestly.
Romero, Lenglet, Davies, please no Eric Dyer starting. Really? That's very interesting. It's very interesting. I personally think Eric Dyer deserves a start. I think he's proven himself last season. He was, he wasn't a standout, but most of the time, he wasn't even someone I was thinking about when it came to players that were disappointing me last season. So,
interesting. Guys, let's get into the final talking point. As always, I need a little jingle for this bit. I need to make one. But as we know, it is score predictions time. It's the most exciting bit of the whole video. It's where there's about 25 of you watching. It's where you guys predict what your score prediction is going to be in the chat. Just quickly, video completer Sofian is saying 25 million for Udogie is too much. We can't afford to waste money like that. Listen, I think it's one I can't comment on because I've never seen the guy play. But also, is it going to be a Pepe Matassar situation where we just send him back on loan? It seems like that is the case. Kev saying I hate Arsenal. So do I, mate. Right, let's do this. Let's do score predictions. Bang them in the chat and we'll get them on screen. Here we go. And today, normally I'd start with Andre or obviously myself. But because Jack's first preview with us, I think. Jack, what is the score going to be on Saturday at Tottenham?
Well, guys, I'm going to stick with my guns. And if you are true Spurs relatables, you would have checked out mine and James's previous video because we did do a little Premier League predictions where we're going to have a nice point system. So, guys, if you're looking for a series, check that out because that's going to be a good one. Plenty of guests, and when Andre's around, he will definitely jump on and give us some score predictions as well. So, I'm going to stick with my guns. I'm going with a 2-0 Tottenham win. I actually don't think we'll concede. I'm hoping we're going to be solid defensively. And I think we're not going to be free-flowing with the goals straight away, but I think we're going to get the 2 goals we need. And I'm going to go with Kane and Kulusevski, I think, to score my 2 goals. Hopefully we get put on a strong performance, a nice win, 3 points on the table. Couldn't ask for much more, and I'll be a very happy man if that happens.
There you go. There's Jack's prediction. 2-0 Spurs, Kane and Kulusevski with the goals. And I think it's justified well. But then again, you were edging towards conceding, Jack, after seeing those stats. So, hey, it's your decision. But I think Andre is going to go for a goal conceded. Andre, it's over to you, mate. What is your score prediction?
You know me well. Yes, I'm going to go with 3-1. I think that we will win. I think that we will dominate. But I do think that there are still mistakes that will be made at the back. And that is what's going to sort of bite us in the butt. And we will concede at least 1. But I think that Kane will score 2, and then I believe Son will score 1. I think Decky will get some assists, but I don't think he's going to be scoring in this one. In terms of Southampton, I honestly, I think Ward-Prowse will score it, to be honest.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go with that. I would have said Che Adams possibly, but I'm thinking James Ward-Prowse is going to get best of that with a nice long shot because someone at some point in that game is going to give him the space to shoot. That's just inevitable. At least based on what I've learned as a Tottenham fan, we tend to do that. So that's my prediction, but I still think we'll win. And I think that is a step up from the last 2 sort of results that we've had.
You've got to take 3 points, haven't you?
Yeah, good point here. Kane never scores in August. He's going to break that duck. Don't worry about that. Don't start
He's have his best season, I'm telling you.
Last season, he was so busy focused on the Man City rumours. And well, I say rumours, it nearly happened, didn't it? So his head's clear this time. He's focused on trying to beat the Shearer record in the next few years. And I think he's going to score a record number of goals. But, yeah, so that's Andre's prediction. 3-1 Spurs. Kane 2, Son, and James Ward-Prowse. I can see the score predictions coming in. I'll read the Spurs-related ones out in just a minute, so keep predicting if you're still watching. But my prediction, Jack already knows it is 3-1 as well. I do think we're going to concede. And I think, I'm trying to remember what I said in terms of goal scorers, and I think I've just remembered. So I'm going to go Kane with 1, Son with 1, and Kulusevski with 1.
Oh.
So all the front 3 are going to get 1. And I think for them, I'm going for Che Adams. So there, I'm not Andre. I need to change the name. But yeah, there you go, guys. I think the front 3 is going to
you don't really think it's great. He's going to score, James. I love that.
What's that?
You don't really rate Che Adams too much, do you? But you think he's going to grab a goal.
I
cannot rate a player and their score because our defense will go to sleep for two minutes. That's what happens. We're Tottenham, mate. We've conceded to absolute morons in the past. Like,
no, totally right.
It doesn't have to be.
Anyone can score. Yeah, you're right.
If Eric Dyer forgets where the ball is, or Davinson Sanchez is on the pitch and he literally has no foot-eye coordination, then anyone can score.
Yeah,
honestly,
get Andre out front.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
So that's my prediction. We'll quickly go through the Spurs related balls. One, Andre's got to go, but Andre, thanks for joining. Thanks for the top graphics as always. Really adds to the quality of this channel. And yeah, we'll see you for more Spurs content soon, mate.
Yeah, cheers, guys. We'll see how that game goes.
See you soon, Andre.
Go get a comment, you Spurs. He's gone. Never mind. We never got it. Okay, so let's see what the rest of the chat is saying. So here we go. 6-0 Spurs for Kev. Wow. That is a statement, I'm telling you that. Simply Ace is going for 3-1 Spurs. Same as myself and Andre. 3-2 for JGR Make. I just hope we can cut those 11 losses from last season down to 16 in the coming season. Absolutely. Kev's gone for 2-0 Spurs. A quick question from Kev is, do you think the team and new signings have had enough minutes pre-season? I don't think they have. And we're in the same boat as many teams. Yeah, August is a month to gel for all teams. I don't think many of the new signings from many teams have had a lot of time to gel. So, especially as more teams travel to pre-seasons now, so they don't play as many games. I think Dyer will get a hat-trick, one of the goals being a bicycle kick. Unbelievable. And Doherty's to score, says Killian. Brave shout there. I like that. You think we're going to concede a goal? That's negative and toxic. It's certainly not. Look at all I need to do. I can't put it up now because Andre's left. But all you need to do is look at that head-to-head after about 25 minutes we brought up, and you can see that in the last 5 games, both teams have scored, in all games. So I know you're joking, but just to justify what I'm saying, I do believe we will concede. I hope I'm wrong, but I just see us conceding one stupid goal. That's me being honest.
Yeah.
Jack, any concluding thoughts?
For me, I'm just looking forward to the game now. I think we need to get that atmosphere has to be rocking Saturday. Everyone behind the lads. Looking forward to sitting down at 10 o'clock, watching match of the day, watching all the teams and seeing how Spurs perform. And I just think we need to start how we mean to go on. Everyone get behind the lads. Then we've got an important game the next week against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. So I think we need to get that momentum early, get those points on the board. And yeah, for me, it's just looking forward to it. Can't wait to get a vlog out to you guys. And yeah, let's hope for a good season. I hope it's a great season on the pitch. And hopefully we've got a lot to talk about off the pitch on this lovely YouTube channel. So yeah.
There you go. Also, our predicted lineups, we did do it earlier, but because of the injuries to Bissouma, who's got a knock that apparently will be in the squad, but he probably won't start. Our middle two is Bentancur and Højbjerg. The Lloris goal. Then I think Perisic and Doherty will be the wing backs. Dyer, Romero, and Lenglet, although some people think Davies will keep his left centre back spot. And then the 3 up front is Kane, Son, and Kulusevski, because obviously Richarlison is suspended. Yeah. We'll do a couple more comments. And guys, like I said before, please do smash a thumbs up. You guys you obviously know it helps the channel, but it helps tremendously in terms of the YouTube algorithms, gets us more views, gets us more out there. So it's free to do so. It's just under your screen. Hit the thumbs up and also turn the notification bells on, which is just next to the subscribe button. Then you'll never miss an upload. And when we go live, you guys can come and talk to us in the chat live, and it'll be absolutely great. We've got watchalongs coming up, match previews, instant match reactions after the game. So expect a video after that Southampton game from us. We've got Jack's vlog to look forward to on Saturday, which will be an absolute banger. So do watch that as well. And yeah, guys, just subscribe if you're new. But yeah, Kev, that was the rundown of the team. Spurs always make me nervous every game. Great channel. Really do appreciate that. No, we get you. I was just defending my point about why I put both teams to score. We have Clement Lenglet with Romero. A lot of people were kind of arguing about our centre-back options. Listen, I still think we're a centre-back short, but that's for another video. As I said, guys, thank you so much to those that watched for the whole video. Do watch it on replay if you joined late, and put a comment in the offline comments if you have any suggestions for the channel or you have any comments about the game. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, all that good stuff. And guys, remember, the season is back tomorrow. Spurs are back Saturday. And I am buzzing. So is Jack.
Certainly am.
You know the drill, guys. All the very best. Have a great evening. And come on, you Spurs!